was kind of a bad girl and he was like a really good boy. No, I'm not gonna let him win. He's not better than me. Instantly I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm going home. Hey guys, what's up? So this is approximately like the 5th time I've filmed this video, but this time is gonna be the one. I can feel it. I am finally here, you guys, to share the story of me and my husband, how we met, fell in love, had babies, you know, the whole nine. And I hope you guys are as excited to hear this story as I am to share it. So, welcome to the Husband Storytime series. This is just the true fucking story of what happened. And I find it interesting. The people I tell it to have found it interesting. And also, I think it might help people. I genuinely think that some of the shit that we've been through might help people. And the fact that we are still together after all the fucking bullshit we've put each other through is like... I'm going to give myself a round of applause here because it's commendable. Like, I'm really fucking proud of that. And, you know, my husband is too. Our marriages are... the thing we're the most proud of. I'm absolutely crazy about this man. He is my best friend, and there's a fly here. It's because the door is open. I'm in my kids' playhouse filming because it's really loud in the house. All the kids are here. It's early Friday, and they're all home from school already. My youngest started kindergarten. Holy cow, crazy. But yeah, so I like the windows open and the door open so that I can get some breeze, and so flies are going to be coming in and out. I'm sorry, I'm technically outside. So, anyways, what was I saying? Basically just that I want people to know that no matter what you've been through, if two people give it their all, you can make it work. And, I mean, if you want to, you know. So I just think maybe it might even be a little inspiring. Disclaimer. Do not watch this video with children. I already gave you guys a disclaimer in the first video that went up on my channel that I filmed about 2 seconds ago. But, yeah, just don't. It's not appropriate. There's going to be swear words. Just don't. If there's kids in the room, leave them. You know what I mean. Have them go out of the room. Also, if you're under the age of like 18, just don't watch it. Just click out. If you're offended by like teenage sex, drugs, swearing, yeah, probably don't watch this video and maybe don't subscribe to this channel. This might not be for you. I have another channel that I'll have linked down below where there's good, wholesome family fun. So, also, Devin looks like a giant douchebag in the beginning of this story, and I look like a complete horrible bitch for the rest of it up until about 6 years ago. Yeah, we're both gonna not look so good in parts of this story, okay? But we've owned it. This is what truly happened. We get it. We understand, like, what we were going through and what was going on and why it happened the way it happened. Also, it's a long, long story, so get some coffee, get some tea, get a snack, girl. Like, get something because this is gonna be a long one. We're gonna be in this for a long haul. Like I told you guys, it's gonna be like a multiple-parter, but each video is gonna be like probably 30 minutes to an hour, so be prepared. All right, let's do this shit. You heard? So this story begins when I was 15, Devin was 14. That's how old we were when we met. I had a boyfriend at the time, this douche. We're just going to call him Travis. Yeah, that works. We're just going to call him Travis. That's not his real name. And that's another thing. Some names may be changed, obviously. Some people might not want that shit aired all over the internet, so I might change some names. But yeah, we'll call him Travis. So it was literally almost 15 years ago. We have been together off and on for like 13 years, but known each other for 15. That is insane to me. Devin didn't have a girlfriend at the time. He was a lot more Mormon, or LDS. We were both born and raised in Utah and born and raised LDS. If you guys don't know, that's we were members of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Our families still, some of our families are. Or another term for it is Mormon. It's just the religion that we were brought up in. And he was very Mormon when I met him. I wasn't. And I was kind of a bad girl, and he was like a really good boy. I was not a virgin. I had actually lost my virginity to the boyfriend that I had at the time. Devin was a virgin. So my best friend at the time was named Missy. Hi Missy, if you're watching this video, I know you're subscribed to my other channel, so when I put the video up over there explaining that I have a new channel, I hope that you'll come over and see this because I definitely appreciate you introducing us, and you're going to be in this story a lot. I have her permission, by the way, to use her real name. Actually, she doesn't go by Missy anymore, but that's what she'll always be known as to me, so that's what I'm calling her. Anyways, she was my best friend at the time, and she had lived next door to Devin's best friend, and then she had moved to a neighborhood just like a few neighborhoods down from the neighborhood where she lived next door to Devin's best friend, if that makes sense. His name's Tyler. I will use his name. So she had been friends with all these boys, you know, her neighbor who was Devin's best friend and Devin, and then a few other guys. I'm not going to use their names, not because I don't remember them or whatever, they're just not just because they're not really relevant to the rest of the story, so why even bother giving them fake names, or, like, it doesn't matter. So anyways, the point is, she had hung out with all these guys, and I remember she had taken pictures of them. Like, she took pictures of Devin, and she took pictures of Tyler, and she took pictures of them, like, playing video games. Oh yeah, I do have to say really quick, there might be, like, obviously, like, blocks in my memory, things I just genuinely don't remember, or, like, details or whatever, and I will be honest about that. I want to make this story as true to form and, like, true to what really happened as possible. When my kids are adults, I want them to watch these videos. Definitely not yet. Definitely not yet. They're not appropriate. But I do. I want them to watch them, learn from my mistakes, hear the story from my mouth, and just... I don't know. I just think that them watching these videos one day would be really cool, and I want to just be as true to the story as possible for that sake. And because I want to be honest on YouTube, the fuck? Why am I, like, explaining to you guys why I want to tell the truth and give the true story? Anyways, so if there's parts I don't remember, I'll let you know. I remember, though, that there was one picture where Devin had, like, pants half on, like, he was, like, pulling his pants up. And I thought it was really strange that she had a picture like that. So I did ask her, I was like, what the hell is with this? And she's like, oh, he had, like, made me go in the bathroom and put on his gym shorts and then take my pants off and give them to him, and he tried my pants on. And so she had taken the picture when he had, like, taken his shorts to put them back on. And so he was, like, just in boxers, but, like, pulling these shorts on, and he was so fucking hot. So attractive. I actually have these pictures now because when me and Devin started hooking up, she gave me the pictures. But you guys, it's really sad. They are in storage along with letters he wrote me when he went to detention. Stay tuned for that shit. And, like, journal entries I've written and things like that. Like, a whole bunch of stuff that I would totally be willing to share. As long as Devin was okay with, like, the letter parts and stuff. I'd have to, like, read them, and he could tell me what parts I could read and stuff. Whatever. He has to be open with it, too, of course. But these are things I would definitely be willing to share, but they're all in storage behind a washer and a dryer right now. So, like, in a box. So, I can't get to them right now, but if you guys would be interested, I definitely can do a future video where I show you these pictures, read the letters he wrote me on DT, and, like, some of my journal entries about him and stuff. I just think it would be really cute and interesting video. So, if you guys want to see that, let me know and give this video a lot of likes so that I know you're interested in the story. So she asked me, she was like, do you think he's hot and whatever? And I was like, yeah, he's way hot, but I'm in love with Travis. Like, I don't need to be, like, hooking up with anybody or whatever. And she actually kind of had a crush on Devin, so I wasn't, like, really thinking that way anyways. But when me and Missy would hang out, he would call or she would call him, and I would end up talking. Like, she talked to all of these boys on the phone, like, interchangeably, and then I would talk to all of them interchangeably too. And Devin was the one that I bonded with the most. We just had a lot in common when we talked, and conversation went smoothly, and I could tell he wasn't really into girls yet. He didn't show that kind of an interest in girls. He didn't really talk about that type of stuff at all. He hadn't had a girlfriend or a first kiss or anything, so that was interesting. But I did tell him that I had a boyfriend. I could tell he wasn't really into girls yet. He didn't show that kind of an interest in girls. He didn't really talk about that type of stuff at all. He hadn't had a girlfriend or a first kiss or anything, so that was interesting. But I did tell him that I had a boyfriend. So one Sunday in the summer of, I'm not sure what year, but when I was 15, Missy called and asked me if I wanted to come over, and my boyfriend at the time, Travis, was gone to an amusement park near us called Lagoon. It's in Utah. It's actually been featured on my other channel because me and my children and husband got memberships this year, so we went a whole bunch, and I vlogged it a few times. But anyways, point is, he went there, but they, like, camped. They stayed in, like, a camper. They camped, you know, for a few days. So he was gone for a few days. And here's the catch. What the family was like that he went with was like they were like friends of the family. How do I say this? They're friends. The family he went with was like family friends, you know, and he had actually had a crush on one of the girls, and I think they had, like, kissed and stuff. I don't even know what they had done, but and all the cousins and stuff would, like, try to hook them up, and he had admitted to me that he had had a crush on her, and stuff had happened in the future, or in the past. So I was, like, hella sure that this guy was off just fucking cheating on me. Like, I was convinced. So when Missy called and asked me to come over, I was like, yeah, you know, I need a distraction. Like, I need to get out of the house. So I went over to her house, and when I got there, I'll never forget, she was on the phone with Devin, and I said hi, and she's like, oh, Brittany's here, and he must have asked to talk to me because she gave me the phone. And I'll never forget what this motherfucker said. He goes, hey, we might meet each other today. And I'm like, awesome, that'd be cool. And he's like, yeah, but only if Missy's dad will come pick me up and if she makes me cookies. You guys, this motherfucker, like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what a douchebag. So I don't even think I responded. I think I just gave her the phone back and was like, yeah, let's not hang out with him today. And just like sat on the couch. But Missy was persistent and she really wanted to hang out with him, really wanted me to meet him. So she went and asked her dad anyways, and he was like, yeah, I'll go pick him up. So me and Missy and her dad hopped into his red Suburban. I do have to get a little serious here for just a moment because Missy lost her father a few years ago. And he's a part of this story, and so I just wanted to stop and take a moment to say rest in peace, and I'm so sorry for your loss, Missy. I know you guys miss him terribly every day. I just wanted to get really serious for a minute for my friend and her loss. And her family's loss as well. We drove over to his house to pick him up, and when he came out, again, I'll never forget what he was wearing. He was wearing, you guys, gym shorts with like Hawaiian t-shirt, like button up, Hawaiian button up t-shirt. And I was like, weird. Like, I had never really seen anybody dressed like that. It didn't seem to go together, but I was just like, weird. It just didn't seem like what I thought he was going to be wearing, if that makes sense. So I was just like, But at the same time, I was like, he gives no fucks, which is kind of cool. So he got in the car and he had like an iPod and earbuds in. And you guys, he gets in the car and doesn't say a fucking word to me. Not a fucking word. Gets in, doesn't look over, nothing. I look over at him and look at Missy and I'm like, because she's like looking back, and he just doesn't do anything. So I'm just like, oh my God. And so she like hits his leg, like looks back and like hits his leg, and he takes one earbud out and he's like, yeah. And she's like, Devin, this is Brittany. Brittany, this is Devin. And he literally, you guys, goes like this. Puts the earbud back in. And I'm just like, this dude. Like, he thinks he's way too fucking cool. He's graced us with his presence. Like, he needed the cookies. He needed the fucking ride. Like, in order to make it worth his time to be with us, peasants and noobs, he fucking needed to get something out of it. Like, I was just like, this douche. He is such a fucking douche. So, I was annoyed. And I was like, I'm not even going to talk to him. And I was like, looking out the window, all pissed. And then I thought, no. I'm not going to let him win. He's not better than me. Fuck this dude. So I took one of the earbuds out of his ear and just put it in mine. And as I did, I was like, what are you listening to? And I will never forget what song it was. I'll never fucking forget these little details. And the song was American Idiot by Green Day. And I was like, oh my God, I love Green Day. And he looks at me like, yeah, so does every fucking other human being who was raised in the 90s. Like, what do you want, a cookie? Like, just, he didn't say any of that, of course, but he just like looked at me like that. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, this douchebag. So I just took the like iPod away from him and just started like going through songs to see what he had on there. And he didn't stop me. He didn't say a word. I don't even think he really looked at me. So the rest of the way to her house, like, I just listened to what I wanted to, like, going through his music to see what he had. I was just interested in, like, what kind of music he had, So I'm just, like, looking through it. And Missy kept, like, looking back, like, oh, like, thinking it was a love connection, which it was not. Not at all. Like, at least not for me. Like, I just was like, no. Like, not feeling it. This guy's a douche. I wanted a distraction from my boyfriend, and I was thinking maybe I'd have a little temptation, but this isn't tempting. You're being too big of a dick. But to be fair, I don't know if he had heard what I had said to Missy when I was like, let's not hang out with him. So maybe, like, that he heard that, and it kind of, like, hurt his feelings. And that was why he wasn't, like, as friendly. I've asked him now, like, years later, but he was like, I don't remember. Like, he's like, I just genuinely don't remember. He remembers really liking me and whatever, but he doesn't remember any of this. When I brought this up to him recently, he was laughing, but he's like, I don't remember that. So once we got back to Missy's house, she of course made him his cookies, and he ate those, and we just like talked. I don't remember what we talked about or like what the conversation was or anything. Genuinely don't fucking remember. I think he like didn't really talk that much. He wasn't that like friendly, and I was just like over it. So my mom called and she was like, hey, your sisters are coming over for dinner. I have 2 older sisters, and they were married and had moved out of the house. And so they would come over every Sunday, and we would have Sunday dinner together. So she was like, your sisters are over. I'm going to come pick you up so that we can have Sunday dinner. And so I got off the phone, and I was like, hey, guys, I'm just going to go wait outside for my mom. She's on her way. And Devin was like, oh, can I come with you? And I was like, I'm trying to get away from this guy. So I just was like, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, Missy, you want to come? And she's like, no, I'm good. And you guys have to understand, like, she liked him, but me and her had the type of friendship where it was bros, or not bros, hoes before bros 100. Like, she would not have taken a man I liked ever, and I wouldn't have done that to her, but at the same time, if a guy liked me, like, she would move over for it. We both loved each other, you know, more than we cared about guys. So there was kind of a mutual agreement there. But I wouldn't have done anything with him until discussing it with her, and didn't. Once we were outside, we did start talking a little bit. There was some open conversation. Things got a little more interesting. He asked about my boyfriend, and I don't remember what we talked about. But I remember we talked, and then he had the audacity to ask me for my phone number. And I was like, motherfucker, you have not been very friendly. You've been very cold and distant. You act like you're way cooler than me. Too cool for school. You have insulted me a little bit, like, under your breath, like, you know what I mean, like, backhanded compliment type shit. Can't think of what he said right now, but, you know, backhanded compliments. And you're extremely hot. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, could not get my phone number out fast enough. Like, here you go, motherfucker. So I gave him my phone number, and then when my mom got there, I remember him walking me to my mom's car and, like, hugging me. And I was so bugged because I thought for sure he was just trying to look like a good boy to my mom. Like, he was just trying to look nice and whatever. I was just like, fuck right off, you know, all the way off. Like, but at the same time, call me later. So my mom, like, immediately was like, who was that? And I'm like, that's Devin, Mom. He's really hot, but he's a dick. Like, he's just not nice. And my mom's just like, oh, he's really cute. And I was like, I just said that. You know, he's hot, whatever. And then she, like, didn't say anything for a while, and we're just driving. And she goes, honestly, Brittany, I think you're going to marry him. I shit you not. That's what she said. And I was like, nuh-uh, Mom. I'm going to marry Travis. I'm in love with Travis. Like, I am not going to marry him. Like, that is so funny. I just met him, but he's a jerk. Like, it's not going to happen. And the funny thing is, you guys, my mom and this Travis boy loved each other. They were, like, best friends. My mom might have been a little too involved with that teenage relationship, if we're real. But my mom loved him. And so it was kind of, like, weird for her to say that. But she felt it, I guess, before we even did. So back at home, I had dinner with my family, hung out with my sisters, whatever. And then I remember a few things. So I remember going upstairs and writing in my journal. And I remember exactly what I wrote, which I don't have here to read to you, but I do remember exactly what I wrote, which is basically what I said to my mom. I said, I met a new guy today at Missy's. His name is Devin. He's extremely hot, but he's a jerk. And then I wrote about how, like, my boyfriend was probably cheating on me with this skank at Lagoon, and, you know, how devastated I was going to be, and I hope I hear from him when he gets back. I hope that we're still together, and all this, you know, stupid teenage shit. And then I remember that night, Devin called me, and, like, already, like, so fast, you know, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, maybe he was kind of interested in me. So when he called, I was kind of, you know, surprised. So he asked what I was doing the next day, and I was like, nothing. And he was like, oh, well, you should come over and hang out. And I was like, that'll definitely distract me from my boyfriend being at Lagoon, you know, cheating on me with that skank. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come over tomorrow if my dad will, like, give me a ride or whatever. I'll have to ask my dad. And he's like, okay. And then I remember the next morning I asked my dad, and he said yes, if there was an adult there. And Devin's grandma was there, but she was bedbound and, like, not, you know, but he didn't know that. And I said, yeah, his grandma's there. So he took me. So the next morning he gave me a ride over to Devin's, and I remember we hung out all day. I don't remember what we really did besides, like, playing video games, listening to music, just bullshitting, talking and stuff. He didn't hit on me. We didn't talk about sex or anything, like, romantic or anything like that. It was just purely platonic friendship, just, you know, fucking around. But it was actually pretty fun. And I remember something really sweet. When I first got there, the very first thing he did was, he's like, oh, you need to come meet my grandma. So we go in there to where his grandma's laying. Absolutely wonderful, amazing woman. Hilarious. She has since passed as well, and I know Devin misses her every day. I miss her every day. We all miss her every day. Absolutely hilarious, to the point, honest, hardworking, loyal, sweet, kind, amazing woman, you guys. Like, had to take a moment for that too, because it's so sad that she's no longer with us. But this story is so sweet, and it gives me all those warm and fuzzies about my grandma. So Devin took me in the room, and he's like, hey, Grandma, this is Brittany. And she looked at me and took my hand, so sweet, and said, I cannot wait to dance with you at your wedding when you marry Devin. And it was so freaking sweet. She knew before we did too. And I remember me instantly being like, oh no, I have a boyfriend, and him being like, no. Like, we both were just like, no, we're just friends, you know. And it was just so cute that my mom and his grandma both like just felt it, like they knew it before we even did. Sorry, this is making me kind of emotional because a lot of our relationship, other people have seen it before me. Like, people would be like, he's so into you, he's so crazy about you, whatever. And I just like did not see it. And I'm finally confident enough in myself now that I do see it. And we're just so close that like I obviously see it now. But it's just crazy to think back on that, how I didn't think he was into me at all. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So after that day, we didn't really hang out anymore. My boyfriend came back, promised he didn't cheat on me. He probably fucking did. This motherfucker cheated on me many other times, so I wouldn't be surprised. But he swore he didn't, and we got back together, and I just didn't really talk to Devin. Also, me and this Travis kid had a relationship where it was like no friends. Like, I could not have any friends that were guys. He could not have any friends that were girls. We were very controlling, very jealous, ridiculous teenage bullshit. You know how it is. So that kind of just fell off, and I kind of stopped talking to him. Every now and then we'd talk on the phone and stuff, but it wasn't anything serious. And then I remember Missy had her birthday, and she had her party, and so we all like met at her house for her birthday party. And I brought my boyfriend Travis, and Devin was there. And I remember Devin had a party pizza that he had brought with him, which I thought was really odd to bring to a party, but okay. And my boyfriend Travis at the time was just like eyeballing it the whole time. Like, he just fucking wanted that party pizza. And that just rubbed Devin the wrong way. Like, he hated that. He was just like looking at my pizza. Like, he just wanted it so bad. But other than that, like, they got along. They just like, we all just dicked around, you know, had fun and messed around. And I think Devin ended up leaving that party pretty early. And yeah, nothing really crazy happened at her birthday party. I just wanted to share that thing about the party pizza because I think it's so funny. Devin's so fucking weird and random. So then school started, and I went into high school. Devin actually went into junior high, and so did my boyfriend Travis. They were both younger than me. And at the beginning of that school year, me and Travis broke up. And there's going to be a lot of this, like, breaking up and getting back together. So believe me, I know it's fucking annoying. If you think it's annoying to hear about it, try living it. Yeah, it's annoying. But it's just the truth. So anyway, so we broke up, and I was really, really sad. And so I started talking to Devin a lot more and like hanging out with him more and stuff like that. And I remember I went to his house one day and hung out after school, and his mom came home from work, and she had all of this like food from this like retreat or something at her work. So there was like leftover food, and she was offering it to Devin. Well, like first she called us upstairs, and we came up from his bedroom, which was down in the basement. We came upstairs, and he introduced me. And then he went straight for the food and started just like dishing himself up food. And she was like, hey, ask your friend if she wants some food. Like, hey, you're being rude, you know? And he's like, oh, she can get some if she wants to. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I just met you. Like, and I'm a teenage girl. Hey, what's up? My dad. You know, I'm not going to just like help myself to this food that your mom brought home. I'm like, you know, he had to know that. But anyways, but I didn't care. I was like, it's okay. I don't want any. And then he was like eating cake, and his mom was like, hey, ask your friend if she wants a slice of cake. And he goes, oh, she doesn't need cake. Excuse me, motherfucker? Like, what? She doesn't need cake? I don't need cake? Like, I was like, what the hell? I was so offended. His mom was like, Devin, that's so rude. You're basically calling her fat. And he's like, no, that's not what I mean. I just don't want to share. And like, to this day, he swears that that's what he meant, was like that he just did not want to share. He's like, she doesn't need any because it's mine. But obviously, as a 15-year-old girl who was a little bit overweight, that was hurtful. And I was like, what the hell? And they ended up leaving just a few hours later. And then I didn't talk to him again for a little while because I was like, ouch, he thinks I'm fat. He has shown me now that no matter what weight I'm at, he's equally attracted to me, and you'll hear it through the story. So I just think it's funny. I just think that that's like crazy that he said that, and kind of funny, and just shows kind of like what a doofus he was, right? So now I'm just going to tell you guys like random ass things. So I remember one weekend, I was broken up with my boyfriend Travis, and me and my friend had like this ongoing bet. So ridiculous and stupid, you guys. Don't do this. Don't do any of the shit I'm doing at home, okay? Don't do it. But we made a bet to see who could see more penises that weekend. So I went to hang out with Devin, and I knew he'd have like multiple guy friends with him because he always did. And I was like, hey, can I see your guys' penises? And two of his friends showed me them. Oh my god. But Devin didn't show me his. So I've seen 2 of his friends' penises for just no reason. Like, fuck. Okay, I probably shouldn't have shared that on YouTube, but it's out there now. I remember when Devin got his first crush and called me and told me he had a crush on a girl. It was so cute. It's so adorable that I was there through all of this, and like, he called me and told me about it. Like, I just was able to watch him grow and go through all this. I remember his first kiss, and I remember he told me that it made the girl wet. Like, she was like, oh my god, that kiss was so hot, it made me wet. And he's like, oh, really? And he told me, he's like, it didn't make me, like, I didn't get anything out of it. I actually didn't feel anything. Like, so funny. He was just so funny, like, so honest, to the point, said exactly what he thinks, which is still how he is. And I enjoyed that. So we were just like kind of friends off and on, you know, throughout that year. And then by the end of that, my first year of high school, I ended up getting back together with the Travis boy and forgot about Devin again. Devin was kind of just like my fallback when me and this Travis guy weren't working out. I'd call Devin up, hit him up, see what he was doing, you know, until he did something I didn't like, and then I wouldn't talk to him. So it's gonna be a lot, you guys, of just all over the placeness. It's a fucking joke, but it's my life. Throughout all that next summer, me and this Travis guy were together, so I didn't really talk to Devin, didn't really hear from him or whatever. And then again, we broke up at the beginning of the school year. What always happened is during the summer, I could like isolate this Travis boy so that he was like just mine, right? He was just with me, and we would be like all over each other and crazy, all up in each other's shit. And then when school would start, all these girls would give him attention. He grew up in this area. I moved here right before I met him, actually. So he grew up in this area. He's very well known. People didn't like me just simply for the reason that they liked him and wanted to date him. Like, a lot of girls just didn't like me simply because I dated him, and stuff like that. This is just the truth. So it was kind of like, if I could isolate him during the summer, then we were good. But once school started again and all these girls would start hitting on him, he'd be like, bitch, I'm done. And this was his first year of high school and my second. And the bitches were coming on hard. They were coming on hard. So he was struggling. He was struggling to keep it in his pants. So had to go ahead and break up with me. But anyways, I think he even cheated on me. Yes, he did. He cheated on me with this stupid bitch. And actually, no hate. Like, it's such stupid high school shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, we were broken up is the point. So it was the beginning of Devin's high school year, and he was going to be taking driver's ed. And I remember him inviting me over one night, and I came over, and there was an extra car in the driveway, and I walked in, and Devin introduced me to this guy who like went to church with him or whatever. He was in our ward, which in the Mormon religion, that's what you call like your congregation, I guess, is your ward. So his grandma was writing this guy a check for the car. She was helping Devin purchase his first car. He ended up paying her back for most of it, but you know, she was helping him purchase his first car. And it was really cute that I was there for that moment too. I really think that's awesome and sweet. But the guy who was there was just a complete douche, and he was just like making fun of Devin really bad, being really rude. You guys have to know this. When I met Devin, he was 14 and had a full fucking beard. He even had a little bit of like hair on his stomach and stuff. So he already had the full beard when I met him, and this guy like was making fun of him about that and just all these other things. But Devin didn't seem bothered, and so I started thinking like, oh, maybe this is just how he rolls. Like, that's what him and his friends do. They put each other down. They fuck around. Like, that's just how it is. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can get with that vibe. Like, I feel that. All right. But anyways, so they bought the car, and then we went downstairs, and so me and Devin and this kid went down in his basement to hang out. And when we were down there, he turned to Devin and he's like, is this your girlfriend? And Devin's like, no, like that. And I was like, geez, I was kind of hoping maybe we might like each other and see what's going on so that I could rebound and get my mind off this douche who keeps breaking up and cheating on me. But fuck you then. And then the friend was like, oh, is it your friend with benefits? And he's like, no, I'm going to hang out with my possible friend with benefits tomorrow. And I was crushed, you guys. I took this to mean like he's not attracted to me. He wouldn't want to be my friend with benefits. He wouldn't want to be my boyfriend. Like, oh my god, he thinks I'm ugly. Like, it just hurt me. It like really, really hurt my feelings. And I was just like, fuck this guy. Why am I here? Why did he want me to come over today? Because I didn't have any guys, and I didn't think it was fucking humanly possible for a guy to want to just be your friend in high school. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted to get in your pants. They didn't want to just be friends. I didn't really have guy friends at that time. And so, like, I got along better with guys than I got along with girls, but it almost always went in a sexual direction. So, anyways, so he... So then we started, like, wrestling and being, like, stupid teenagers. You know, we were, like... I remember... I don't know. We were just wrestling and doing stupid stuff. And, like, he kept touching me. And I thought it was weird. But he was doing it in, like, a playful way. And then... To this fucking day, you guys. My husband is so funny. He says that he put his hand up and I moved my face into it. I say... Why are you putting your hand up to smack a girl unless you're planning on smacking her? But what happened is he smacked me across the face. It was like... And I did turn my face so it made it like harder or whatever. And there was a red mark and I was livid. I was so pissed. Instantly I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm going home. And he goes, okay, do you want me to go ask my mom to give you a ride? And I'm like, no, I'll call my mom. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'll go ask my mom to give you a ride so we can go right now. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And he goes upstairs and the kid was like, oh my God, like, that was messed up. And I'm like, fuck you, don't talk to me. Like, I was just so pissed. And this guy had, like, made nothing but, like, jokes about girls. And he was just bad vibes. Anyways, I was just, like, ready to go home. So this kid convinced Devin's mom, my mother-in-law, who's amazing. I absolutely adore her. But he convinced her to, like, let him ride with us. So he was in the back seat, annoying me the whole fucking time. This car ride, I was so annoyed. I was like, I should not have come out today. I should not have come over. This was a waste of my time. Fuck these douches. I never want to talk to Devin again. Done. So I went home and neither one of us had like cell phones or anything like that. But he called me later that night and I told my mom straight up, I was like, tell him I don't want to talk to him ever again. Don't call me anymore. Done. Done deal. Like, I was done. I was never going to talk to this douchebag again. Just so fucking pissed. Okay, so I am going to end this part of the husband storytime videos here. I think it's definitely long enough. But what I want you guys to do is comment down below and guess what happens next. Because obviously we talked again because we're married now. We have 2 children. So obviously we talked again, but how do you think we got back into talking? What do you guys think happened next? I'm just curious to see if you guys could possibly guess the craziness. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel so you guys can hear the rest of this story. Part 2 will be up tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video. And you guys have a good day. And I'll talk to you in my next one. You heard?